there's something very serious that happened on Instagram, which is the Boys Locker Room, right?
Yes.
And it so happens, I don't know why, but on Coffee Time with Griha, we have had more male celebrities than females. But whenever I'm talking to a lady, I see comments like these always. As if they are unabashed. They don't care what people will think. They think that they are, that it's well within their rights. I'm talking about the men. It's well within their rights to be objectifying a woman, talking about their attributes, their physical attributes, and it's just okay. They normalize the whole thing, which is what probably also happened with this controversy on Boys Locker Room. Your comments, because you are an influencer as well. I mean, people keep talking about the fact that how you should not refrain, you should refrain from spreading hate, you should talk about love. But it is important for people like you to now talk about a thing like this, which is happening on an open platform. It's out there, and when girls decided to speak about it, I suddenly see another trend on Twitter today, which says girls locker room. You should actually penalize the girls also, because they also have a similar chat room. So that's the kind of unabashed head-on collision that's happening. But this is really, really serious.
I don't understand where this comes from. I mean, and especially in a situation right now, we're already dealing with such massive things in life, like a pandemic, this virus, because of what the whole humanity is sitting at home. There are bigger things to worry about, and these things, I genuinely don't understand what mind frame you have to be to come up with something like this. Like, of course, there's a lot of trolling that happens. There are men that talk about women in the wrong way, very objectifying way. And that's been going on for ages. And of course, when you're doing it sitting behind a computer or laptop or a phone, you clearly don't have the guts to come out or say anything in public.
Oh, absolutely.
You know you're wrong. You genuinely deep down, you know that what you're doing is not acceptable. So these people very well are aware of the fact that whatever they're doing is absolutely not acceptable. And I don't even know how you can stop such a thing. Like, how many groups are there? I mean, I personally know of a lot of groups of men or boys which, they do the same thing, and not just in India, all over the world. So it's just this mentality that people have, and it's very shameful. Yeah? Like, it's disgusting. And I mean, I don't know how you can instill a fear in their mind that this is wrong. This is not right. You cannot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fact that Priya, you mentioned this, and it is also to do with a lot about the upbringing, because I don't know, एक ad मेरे दिमाग में आ रहा है where they were talking about how लड़कों को रोना नहीं चाहिए, boys don't cry, men don't cry. That's the only thing that has been maybe taught to the guys, masculinity. But the respect for women and the respect for your own, because that's another section of the society, and a huge section of the society. How can you objectify and talk about that? And a lot to do, don't you think? It's also, especially in India, a lot to do is also because of the lack of sex education.
Also, I think a little bit, because I think it's just the way the culture is. Women have always been expected different things. They're not educated. They're not sent out. If there is like a family of 4 kids with 2 boys and 2 girls, they would expect the guys to go out and get educated. I'm talking about the 80% of probably the population, which is below poverty line, and not the education is not there. So I guess it's also the upbringing, the way guys are brought up. Because I remember watching a video. This was a while back, and this was when all these rape cases had happened at that point. I remember watching a video where a journalist, I believe, went to several rural parts of these, in the north, and where he was interviewing little boys, and they had the same mindset. They didn't know any better. For them, this is how women are looked at. This is how women are supposed to be objectified. So where is it coming from? Where do you think, what is the root cause of all of this? So I feel it is the surrounding. It is the family that they're in. It is, and that's never going to change without education.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just B-town cities. I mean, we're talking about Delhi here, Priya. I mean, these boys have been Delhi schooled boys, and it's a metropolitan capital of the country, for God's sake, and this is what is happening. And especially when you had, an era like a Me Too movement, you've had a Nirbhaya, and they are talking and normalizing a thing like rape, and they're so okay to be talking about it.
And I personally think that the justice system should do something. I mean, I know they're very laid back, and it's just a WhatsApp group, and there's not much you can probably do about it. But I personally believe that the police, cops, they should do something about it. Because these guys have to have that fear in mind before
Yeah,
speaking like
yeah.
that or objectifying women that way. Because
Hmm.
otherwise, things will never change. I mean, 13, 14-year-old boys, you cannot really educate them much. You just have to
Yeah,
put that fear in their mind that this is wrong, this is
yeah,
not
correct,
right, and you cannot
correct,
continue doing this because they're going to grow
correct.
up to believe all of this, and then
Hmm.
it just becomes a very scary place for women to live in, and you don't want that, right? You don't want to have
Yeah.
like your friends or daughter or somebody going out and you're constantly worried because you have men like this out there.
Yeah, yeah. Have you faced a situation like this with your fans? Maybe, I mean, you were talking about how people recognize your character, they mob you also. Have you faced any similar situation where somebody's gotten access and which you have not been, or probably your Man Friday has not been able to handle something that you'd like to talk about,
um
which they think is normal?
I mean, luckily, the mobbing, like in person, I've never dealt with it. Of course, online, there's a lot of this that happens. There are
Yeah,
messages when you post something, a picture, even like, and there are trolls that comment really disgusting things. That is very sad to see. And again, as I said, these people will never have the guts to do this in your face, in public or in person, because they know they're wrong.
hmm.
they
Hmm.
don't they know that whatever they're doing, they can only do it behind the scenes because they'd be too scared to do it in person because they're very
Yeah,
afraid of it.
right,
So, and
correct.
if the only thing I'd like to say to these trolls is, honestly, why are you putting in all this energy into something so negative?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't make sense when we can make this place such a, I mean, and especially online, like the pictures people comment on, not just me, and there's other actors and celebrities who get messages that are so filthy and
Hmm.
disgusting sometimes.
Yeah.
Of course, I choose to ignore them most of the time
Hmm.
because I'm
Hmm.
just like, unless it really bothers me and I think I should reply and be like, hey, what are you saying? What are you,
Hmm.
like, put my foot down. I
Hmm.
usually choose to not let it get to me because then you'll go crazy. As a,
Yeah.
as a, as a celebrity or public figure, if you keep kind of just reading all of this and letting it get to you because it can really drive you crazy so I
Hmm.
think I usually choose to let it go unless I feel like I need to put my foot down for certain things. Then I reply, or I put it, block the person and say that, hey, this is not right or whatever
Yeah.
it is. But actors are trying. There's been several actors who have pointed the bully out or the trollers out and said that this is not right on Twitter, on
Hmm.
Insta, or whatever it is. But I don't think people will really change unless they change their mindset,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that will take time. I feel like,
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
and not just India. I wouldn't just say that India is like this. Of course, the population is massive. There's a lot of male population in India, so I guess it could be that reason. But there's also people, bullies and trolls all over the world. In Canada, there are a lot of trolls, insane
Yeah.
amount of trolls in US. So it's all over the world.
Hmm.
So the only way I feel people have to change is just by changing their mindset. And
Yeah. Correct.
if you have kids at home, if you're raising boys at home, especially to all the mothers and the family members, please raise them right. Just make sure from a very young age they are taught how to respect women. Because if, as parents, that's the only thing we can do and raise them right, so they know what's right and what's wrong, and not end up like this.